99 Problems was not only a huge song for Jay-Z in 2003, it's become a part of American culture. Watch this. If you're having girl problems, I feel bad for you, son. See, the rest of the phrase just finished in your head and you had no idea it was in there. But Jay-Z didn't actually write that line. I'm not talking about a ghostwriter and I'm not talking about plagiarism. I'm talking about how 99 Problems is Jay-Z's ode to hip-hop on his way out the door. Today we're diving into this classic Jay-Z song, breaking down the lyrical references, the samples, and seeing how with this song, Jay-Z is paying tribute to the art form and the pioneers who came before him. Do you remember when Jay-Z was gonna retire? In 2003, he released the Black Album, which was billed as his final album. He, of course, kept going shortly after that, but the Black Album is so good for a couple of reasons. For one, he worked with a bunch of different producers, and for two, if this is his last album, it's gotta be incredible. The producers on the Black Album include Just Blaze, The Neptunes, Eminem, DJ Quick, Kanye West, Timbaland, Ninth Wonder, and more. These are all huge producers, some of whom had worked with Jay before, some were at the height of their popularity, and others still at the beginning of their careers. But for 99 Problems, Jay-Z wanted to recapture the feeling he had listening to old school hip-hop as a kid, and that meant going to one producer in particular, Rick Rubin. Now, in 2023, Rick Rubin is known for producing so many artists across different genres, it's crazy. But through the 80s, Rick Rubin first made a name for himself by producing hip-hop artists like the Beastie Boys, Run DMC, Public Enemy, and LL Cool J. You know Def Jam Records? Rick Rubin started the label, with Russell Simmons joining shortly after. All of that to say, Rick Rubin is a legendary producer, but in the early 2000s when Jay-Z was recording the Black Album, Rick hadn't done a hip-hop album in a while. So already by bringing Rick Rubin in, Jay-Z is calling back to a different era of hip-hop. And considering that the Black Album was going to be his retirement album, this feels like a sort of victory lap through previous hip-hop years and Jay-Z's own life. Through the producer, Rick Rubin, the music that he produces, and some of the lyrics that Jay-Z brings on top of that, we can see a number of callbacks and references to this earlier period of hip-hop. Let's start with the samples. First, we got the Wilson Pickett song, Get Me Back on Time, Engine Number 9 from 1970. This song has been sampled by many different artists, including Dougie Fresh in 1986, LL Cool J in 1987, NWA in 1988, and so many more. WhoSampled.com lists a total of 241 songs that include a sample from this song. But then there's the lyric from this Wilson Pickett song, Engine Number 9. This is quoted from the Roger Miller song from 1965, but you may know it from the Black Sheep song The Choice Is Yours from 1991. If not that, maybe Be Faithful by Fat Man Scoop from 1999, which is a remix of the Faith Evans song Love Like This from 1998. Should I keep going? The point is, this song is responsible for a lot of other music and is very tied in with the earlier hip-hop that Jay-Z is trying to evoke by bringing Rick Rubin in to begin with. So let's recreate 99 Problems by first sampling Get Me Back on Time, Engine Number 9 by Wilson Pickett. So the part we're looking for is near the end where it breaks down to just drums, and there's a couple guitar noises and then like a screech in there that's part of the loop as well. So check it out. Just that much right there. So let's grab right from that screech right there, and then we'll cut right before that downbeat right there. There it is. All right. Now with modern tools like Ableton, you can turn warp on and change the tempo without changing the pitch and vice versa. But if you're talking traditional production techniques, those things go together. So I'm going to turn warp off so that I'm going to pitch this down one semitone that also slows it down. Check it out. Perfect. Just gonna load that into my drum rack here, and now we're good to go whenever we need that sample. So I got this table in front of me that I can put my DJ controller or MPC or whatever I'm using for a video. It's a Flongstorp or whatever with like the umlau on top. I don't know, it's from IKEA. But the people at FlexiSpot have just sent me a new amazing standing desk and have sponsored this video as well. Let me show it to you. FlexiSpot makes a range of sizes of standing desks depending on what you're looking for. I sprang for the E4 Classic with a black frame and bamboo top. It's 78 inches long, 30 inches deep, and can change height from 24 inches to 50 with the motorized legs. Check us out. It's like Curtis Mayfield up in here, you know what I mean? Moving on up.
That's crazy! The idea with a standing desk is you could stand or sit at it and change up your position throughout the day. This is perfect for me because I need a couple different heights depending on what I'm doing here. I could be DJing or drumming something out with my hands or want it out of the shot completely. Check this out, I got the DJ controller in the shot, right? I'm gonna hit preset 1. Boom! Get out of here! Get out of here! Alright, you can come back. Preset 2. The desk arrived in 2 pieces and was easy to build. The build quality is solid and can support anything I need to put on it. Now, if I need to adjust the height, I can just simply hit the arrows up or down or save a height as one of the 3 presets to switch between. This is the desk that I'm using in videos from now on. It's fantastic. Go check them out. Link in the description.
The other sample on here is from The Big Beat by Billy Squier from 1980. This is another one that has a drum break that's been sampled a lot. 320 entries on whosampled.com. Cold Crush Brothers in 1981, Run DMC in 1985, DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince in 1987, Queen Latifah in 1989, Big Daddy Kane in 1990, and so many more. Now every song that I just mentioned samples the drum break, which is this part right here. 99 Problems goes a step further and samples the guitar swell that's going right into it just before. So let's do the same thing, leave warp off, and then pitch this down 2 semitones. All right, so we got the Wilson Pickett sample. Classic sample. We got the chopped up drums from the Billy Squier. Here we go. And then we got the chopped up guitar that's been pitched down as well. Let's see what we can do. Rick Rubin is taking 2 samples that have been used extensively through 80s hip-hop, the era he came up in, but has reworked them in a new way, resulting in the beat for 99 Problems. But this is 2003 Rick Rubin doing this, so it has a classic hip-hop feel to it, but it's modernized. That's exactly what Jay-Z is going for with this song, not only musically, but lyrically as well. When Rick initially played the beat for him, he didn't have the lyrics, but loved the beat. As Rick remembers, I told him this idea that Chris Rock had about 99 Problems. He said, there's this Ice-T song called 99 Problems, and the hook is really great, and there's probably an interesting song to be made with that hook, so talk to Jay about that. That's right, the opening line that's repeated throughout the song, the name of the song even, is quoted from the Ice-T song 99 Problems from 1993. Other than this line, these 2 songs are very different from each other. In the first verse of Jay-Z's version, Jay talks about his critics, radio, and magazines, who all seem to not take him very seriously. Verse 2 lays out a fictionalized version of real events that happened to him. Essentially, he, as the narrator, is driving safely but has drugs in the car with him, and as Jay describes in an interview, he's all the way in the wrong. He gets pulled over by a police officer, not because of the drugs, but because, as the song says, he's young and black and his hat's real low. So the cop is racially profiling him and is also in the wrong. The verse continues with the narrator saying he knows his rights and the cop can't just come search his car without a warrant. This second verse has actually been analyzed by law professor Caleb Mason in a 20-page paper, saying it's useful for understanding the 4th Amendment and what's legal during a traffic stop. Anyway, the verse ends with the officer saying, "We'll see how smart you are when the canine comes," before repeating the opening line again. As Jay-Z explained in that interview, in his real-life version of the story, the cop ordered a canine unit to come inspect the car, but they were taking too long and he had to let them go. As they were leaving, they passed the canine unit car, so literally he has 99 problems, but that specific dog, presumably female, is not one. This second verse is the most famous from this song, and in the documentary Fade to Black, you can see Jay-Z record both the role of the driver and the officer, leaving gaps in the song for where he'll record it later. It's amazing to see it just come out of his head and onto the tape like that in just a couple takes. So after laying out these first 2 verses, he starts the third by directly quoting another song, Touched by UGK from 1996. This is the opening line, "Once upon a time not too long ago." But then he throws in another quote in the form of "Couldn't bust a grape in a fruit fight." This is from the 1990 song Break of Dawn by LL Cool J. Independently, these lyrical quotes may not seem like much, but combined together with Rick Rubin and the samples he's using that are tied in with hip-hop history, this song starts to feel like something bigger than just a song about Jay-Z's problems. Considering that this is from the Black Album, which was supposed to be Jay-Z's retirement album, 99 Problems feels like a victory lap through hip-hop, incorporating a classic hip-hop producer, some classic samples, and quoting multiple other songs, including the main hook of the song. But Jay-Z's 99 Problems is far from a cover or a redo. It's taken all of these ideas and inspirations from Jay-Z's time coming up through hip-hop and rolling it into something new. Something that's able to thoughtfully examine issues like racial profiling, drugs, the Fourth Amendment, and proving that he's not just rapping about, as the first verse says, money, cash, hoes. The Black Album features not just Rick Rubin, but a ton of incredible producers, including a young Kanye West. Kanye produced 2 songs on the Black Album and had also produced 4 others on 2001's The Blueprint. In between those 2 albums, in 2002, Kanye was in a nearly fatal car accident, resulting in his jaw being wired shut. It was during this time that he recorded his first single as an artist, Through the Wire. That's a great song, classic Kanye production with incredible lyricism, but for that story, you gotta watch this video.